Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. Got your questions here regarding Night of Champions and many questions here regarding the Divas division in WWE. So I will discuss mainly the Divas today, since we do have the Divas Revolution and Nikki Bella coming very close to ending the record of AJ Lee. And she will actually break the record on September 15th, which is coming up very shortly, only 2 weeks away. All right, got this question here from Turbonius. Why does WWE insist the need to shove Nikki's title reign down our throats? Well, I think the fact that she's coming close to breaking AJ Lee's record is a major reason. It's done to get the heel heat, to get people pissed off. She is a heel after all, at least that's what I think. I mean, sometimes who knows if she's a heel or a face, but I think it's done to get people upset because nobody wants to see, well, I shouldn't say nobody. I know there's Nikki Bella fans out there, but a lot of people do not want to see Nikki Bella break AJ Lee's record. And WWE is taking advantage of that and working that into the storyline with the Divas division. And I think it's a smart move because it's getting people emotional about the Divas title, and the fact that people do care means that the title has some value, and I think WWE realizes that. It'll be interesting to see, though, if Nikki Bella loses the Divas title. I got this question here from @Josh_himself. Could the constant chance for Sasha and Charlotte mean they'll get pushed to end Nikki's title reign? Please answer in video. Well, when WWE started talking about Nikki Bella possibly breaking the record, I figured a cool idea would be for WWE to build up to a match right before the title reign ends. Because think about the heat that a match would get right before, like literally the day before her title reign ends, where people know if she wins the match, she breaks the record. If she doesn't win, we obviously have a new champion, and you can elevate one of the NXT divas. I figured that that would be a really good idea, and WWE now has 2 weeks. They either do something this Monday on Raw, or they do something on the 14th edition of Raw, which is 1 day before she breaks the title reign. But the thing with that is, on the 14th, she will tie AJ Lee. That could also be interesting, that she has the same exact number of days as AJ Lee and loses the title on that day. That could be very interesting. And one would think WWE will build up to a big match on that Raw, perhaps, or this coming Monday on Raw, and have Nikki Bella lose the title. All right, so this one comes from Colin Nicholson. WWE holds grudges, so will Seth and Nikki retain their belts to erase CM Punk and AJ Lee's legacies? Well, time will tell. WWE can definitely gain from this whole NXT thing by having a new champion crowned and elevating the NXT brand. And I think in the long run, that is more important than holding a grudge and having Nikki Bella erase AJ Lee's record by her becoming the longest reigning Divas champion. Time will tell. It'll be interesting to see what happens if Nikki loses the title before she surpasses AJ Lee. And as far as Seth Rollins goes, I don't see that happening because Seth still has a very long time to go, and CM Punk, what was it, the 434 days as champion? I think he would have to have the title until at least June of next year, if not longer. I'm not sure the exact date that it would be. But he would need to be champion past next year's WrestleMania, and I don't see Seth Rollins being WWE champion from now all the way past WrestleMania 32. I just don't see that happening. I don't even know if he'll make it past Night of Champions as WWE champion. So I think it's very unlikely that Seth will even come close to breaking CM Punk's record. I don't know if anybody will be able to do it, because to hold the title for that long, I mean, it's difficult in this day and age because you have injuries, you have other factors, and with weekly television shows, the booking, there's plans always changing and things happening. I think it's a miracle in a way that CM Punk was able to keep the title for that long, and I think part of it had to do with him transitioning from a top babyface to the top heel in the company, and that gave him some more time. And also, when they shot that angle on Raw 1000 with CM Punk and The Rock, that was basically building up the Royal Rumble. So CM Punk was going to have the title until the Royal Rumble unless something happened. So it pretty much cemented his title reign by shooting that angle. With Seth Rollins, there's just so many possibilities. I think it's very unlikely it happens. All right, this one comes from Kayfabe Candy Ass. How sore do you think Stephanie's hand is after giving herself all these pats on the back for, quote, starting the Divas Revolution? Oh, I'm sure her hand is very sore. I'm sure everybody in WWE's hands are sore from patting themselves on the back for all the great stuff they do, having this wonderful company that puts smiles on people's faces and fights the bullying and does all the charities. It is getting a little bit over the top. I know WWE does a lot of great things for charity, but sometimes, watching all this stuff, I feel like it's just a political maneuvering by the company, just trying to make themselves look really good to the general public. And, I think Stephanie is the same way with the creative process in WWE. If something is a success, Stephanie will try to put her fingerprints on it and say, yeah, I had a role in this, and I was supporting these women from the get-go, that sort of thing. It should be about the divas. Stephanie, I was fine with her coming out, but the thing is too that bothers me, and it's just me personally, the whole thing with her being a heel on television, and then 1 minute she goes from being a heel to being a face and doing the stuff with the NXT and then all the charities and all that. So, just in my opinion, I don't like the going back and forth. If she's going to be a heel character on TV, then she should be against the NXT Divas Revolution. So just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I try not to get bothered by it too much. I mean, it is what it is in WWE, and I've just come to accept it. All right, so moving on here. Got one more Divas, actually a couple more Divas related questions. Told you guys this was going to be a Divas heavy edition of NoDQ&A video. This one comes from Eric. Since WWE is heavily pushing Charlotte, do you think she may end up just like Roman Reigns? Well, that is a possibility. There is a chance fans could eventually turn on her, but I think that will have more to do with how WWE portrays her, and if they continue to try and mold her into something different than what she was in NXT. I mean, I think part of the key to the Divas division succeeding in WWE is to let the women do what got them over in the first place on the NXT brand. If you try to change them too much, it could have a negative effect. I mean, Paige was really over in NXT, and she's lost some of her momentum on the main roster, and she's been frustrated with the crowd reactions. Like on the Raw in Brooklyn, she lashed out at fans, and she was upset about that. That is my concern, that WWE will not let these women go out there and do their own thing, and that could cause a backlash. And with Roman Reigns, I think WWE's creative process was a major factor in fans starting to resent him and him being pushed too soon. But fans know that Charlotte has worked really hard, and I think that she's made her own name for herself. And the problem is if she keeps doing too much of her father's shtick, fans might start to resent it at some point, that she's just trying to live off of her dad's name. But she's done a lot of things on her own with her own character, and as long as she keeps doing that, keeps being herself, and keeps having good matches, I think the fans will accept her and not turn on her like they did for Roman Reigns. I can't imagine it getting that bad regardless, but there's always a possibility fans could start to resent her after a while if WWE does their corporate molding of a character and trying to make her something that she's not, or something that the fans don't want her to be. All right, this one comes from Jose. Hi Aaron, like your show and congrats. Will Tamina become Divas Champion? It would make the Superfly happy. I would say the odds are against it happening because the focus is on the NXT Divas. They're the ones that are going to be pushed in the future. And Tamina's been around for a while, but she's never been like the diva that's been pushed towards the top. She's always been kind of in the middle of the pack. and sometimes she's on TV, sometimes she's not. So I think the odds are very much against it happening, just because there's so many other divas. You have Charlotte, you have Sasha, you have Bayley in NXT. She'll be on the main roster at some point. And those are the women that WWE is going to focus on, in Becky Lynch and, of course, Paige. All these women are going to be pushed in the near future, and I think that is the direction WWE is going, is with the NXT women that they've brought in and the ones they're planning to bring in soon. All right, this next one comes from @NickEasy. After the success of TakeOver, should NXT move to a bigger venue? I assume you're talking about Full Sail University, if NXT should be in a bigger venue for all their TV tapings. It's possible that WWE might eventually do that, but the thing is, they have their performance center there, and it's very convenient for WWE to tape the shows at the Full Sail University. But then again, if they can make money running in larger venues, I think eventually they may consider doing that. It's just a matter of if it's financially feasible to do that. There's always the concern that they would move to a bigger venue and not draw the big crowds. They're very careful about slowly expanding NXT into bigger markets. They did the 5,000 seat arena in San Jose the weekend of WrestleMania, and that sold out instantly, and nobody knew for sure how many people were going to attend that. But the fact that it sold out so quickly, they figured, okay, we can do a major arena for SummerSlam weekend and try that out. And that worked out. They sold out that arena really quickly. Granted, it was New York, one of WWE's biggest market, perhaps their biggest market. It could be a bit of a risk to try and run in a bigger venue for TV tapings. That's a different beast. But if NXT continues to grow as a brand, I could definitely see it as a possibility. All right, got one more question here from @DanielJobber. Hey Aaron, what do you think of the idea of Kevin Owens becoming the IC champion? Could it make it more interesting? I would not mind seeing Kevin Owens and Cesaro battle for the IC title and have a feud over that title. I think that would be a lot more appealing than Ryback being the IC champion and feuding with guys like The Big Show and The Miz, as he's been doing the past couple months. That's just my opinion. I'd love to see Kevin Owens in the mix for the IC title. Same thing with Cesaro. I think that they could have some great matches, and that would elevate the title right there. Two guys that are really popular with the fans going for the title. I think it would be great for the prestige of the IC title, because back in the day, it used to be the workhorse title. So, you could make it the workhorse title again. I don't think it's going to have a legacy as the workhorse title with Ryback as champion. Let's just put it that way. All right, so that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest in the world of wrestling, and I will see you guys next time for more.